Hey everybody, CoreyAllenX here. It's been a good while since I made a video. I believe the last time I appeared in one of my videos was back in June on the day that Michael Jackson died. So I apologize to my subscribers for taking so long to get back to you guys, and the numbers keep going up, so we must be doing something right. Back in New York City, just moved into a new apartment, having a good old time here in the Big Apple. But as you can hear, even the taxi drivers want to take a part in this. Yeah, a lot of stuff's happened since June. I took that big road trip. I went and did a play down in North Carolina, and now I'm back in New York and auditioning and doing that whole crazy thing, crazy actor life here in Manhattan. But I want to talk to you about something really briefly, because it's something that happened today that made me think a bit about other recent events that have been taking place. So I'm walking down the street in the city. There's a big mob of high school students, right? Probably like 20 kids. And two guys, they're probably no more than like 14, maybe 13 or 14 years old, are beating the shit out of each other. And they've gotten down on the ground. They're in the middle of the street, and one kid's like hitting and beating this kid's head against the ground, and he's being kicked and all that stuff. And there are all of these people congregating around these two kids, to watch them fight. Two black kids. So as soon as I see it, I pull out my phone and I call 911, because for those of you who didn't see what happened in Chicago a couple of weeks ago, we just had a boy lose his life for foolish, stupid reason, in the same situation where there were just people standing around watching and doing absolutely nothing to stop it. And it really disgusts me. And that really wasn't the worst part. I called the cops. They asked me a series of questions about what was going on. I was describing the altercation and the characters so that the police could come and break them up. I didn't know if they were armed or what they had or what was going on. I just knew that there were two young kids fighting in the street and being watched while they fought in the street. And eventually they kind of broke it up. One kid's, this kid who's been having his fucking head slammed against the concrete ground is bleeding, and he's putting his shirt on, and he's walking down the street with his swagger. He's good. He's gonna make it down the street. Well, he walks on. The other kids are still sort of yelling things at him. He keeps walking. I'm still on the phone with the cop and trying to give her the information about what's happened. She could not care less what the hell. I mean, you could tell in her voice. She's like, where is it? It's just protocol, facts, figures. Is it still happening? We'll try to get somebody to get out there to see about it. But as I'm talking to them, the mob of kids begins to walk over to me. And I guess one of them overhears that I'm talking on the phone to the cops or to somebody. And he says, "What the fuck, dude? Why you tattling, bro? Why you tattling?" And I look at him. And it took everything in my being to say to this little shithead that you're throwing your fucking life away. You're throwing your life away for something. I don't know what the hell the argument was about, what started it, who was right, who was wrong, what the hell it was about. But I know, just like we had that event in Chicago a couple of weeks ago, nothing is worth losing your life over in the middle of the street. Nothing is worth that. And the fact that human life is so devalued, we've reached a point where kids have always been fuck-offs. That doesn't change, you know? And fighting, I think, you know, as controversial as it might be, I think that in the old days, like, the fight was, you did that thing and then you got up and then you were probably like friends with the person who kicked your ass because, you know, it was stupid. But what was created in this was this really weird mob thing where, yet again, I saw kids holding up their cell phones, filming the fight, not calling, not trying to stop it, rooting it on and filming the fight. And it made me realize in seeing that a lot of these kids they must not think that this is real. They must not think it's real. It must be entertainment. It must be like a video game that if this kid gets his brains knocked out on the concrete, that he's not really gonna die. Or if he really dies, he'll come back in the next level. You know, you can just start the game over again. And it really got me to thinking, why is it that the more advanced we become with technology, the less connected we are with the realities of human life? Why is it that we have kids who, instead of trying to help someone who's getting their ass beat on the street, they'd rather film the thing and then probably upload it on YouTube? What is that about? What is that about, and how far is it going to go? I heard a story about a kid who, I haven't actually read the article, I was told about this a couple of days ago, about a kid whose parents took Halo 3 video game away from him. And he was so upset by them taking this video game away from him that he killed his parents, and he left the house and all he took was the Halo video game. I thought, like, when I was a kid, like, that, none of that stuff would ever have crossed my mind, you know? Never would have crossed my mind. And so I wanted to make this video to just talk about, like, what's happening in your own communities. I live in New York City, so it's a very big city. And just about any day, something new can happen, something crazy can happen. And I'm taking my camera out with me these days because I want to really get a feel for the city, show you what's going on around this life that I'm beginning to start anew here in New York City. But this is my first video in a while, CoreyAllenX. If you're new to the channel, check out some of the old videos, subscribe if you like, leave comments, rate it. But I really would like you guys to talk about what it is that you think is happening in our culture that the value of human life seems to be declining so steadily. I mean, it really does seem to be declining steadily. What do you think is the cause of that? And if you think that there's a way for us to turn that around. All right, that's my 2 cents for the moment. What's yours?